Yana dead, yeah.
Abs on the wall.
Good
Can someone distract for SenVale? Like shoot at the holes here in a second? SenVale is making a fucking play. What's on the roof above Logic? Oh my god.
I got your ass. What's up, guys? All right, today we are going to do a operator guide for mute. We're gonna be talking about what Mute's utility is the best used for, how to play as mute, and how to excel as mute. Let's get to it. First, we're going to talk about Mute's loadout. So obviously signal disruptor, and you have the MP5 as well as the shotgun M59. So two options you can run as mute. You can run the MP5 or the shotgun. If you run the MP5, make sure your team has someone that is able to make rotations as well, like shotgun holds if you need them, because a lot of times a lot of people will see you as mute and they'll expect that you'll have a shotgun. So make sure to vocalize that you do have the MP5 if you are going to run it. MP5 is great. It has a 1.5 scope. It's great. With a shotgun, ain't no joke. It puts people down. It's pretty good because you have the side arm of the SMG-11. I mean, you have the pistol too, but SMG-11, bro. Come on. Always on the SMG-11. I run hollow, flash shatter, vert grip on that as well. And then you have a nitro or a bulletproof camera. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys will agree with this, but I personally think that anytime you can run a nitro, you run a nitro. So I'll be grabbing that nitro, especially, I mean, bulletproof. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but the nitro is probably going to do you better. Someone else can probably bring a bulletproof if you really need like a Malusi or a Rooney. So that's loadout. Let's talk Mute's utility, the mute jammers. So most of the time we'll be wanting to place these near doorways or drone holes to keep out enemy drones, to deny their intel, because this game intel is key. If you can't drone an enemy, you're gonna have to peek with your face, which leaves you extremely vulnerable to death. So having mute jammers and like Mozzie pests are going to be extremely valuable when you are trying to stay hidden. So they have to come in completely blind and basically pick a direction, and if they choose wrong, well, then they're dead. So use them wisely, but that's not the only thing you use them for. You can also use them to deny the wall. I would say that mute is probably the worst at wall denial, but because it is paired with being able to counter intel, I think that it's still extremely viable. Placing the mute jammer on this wall, they can't get the wall unless they throw a grenade over the top or somehow get the mute off. Ace or Hibana will be able to open the top part of the wall, but they won't be able to breach too much. If they have a thermite and they were able to repel on the other side of the wall, thermite would be able to open up the top and leave it vaultable. So there is that. It is a little finicky. Like, listen, it's not the best to be used for wall denial, but if you have to, do it, because I mean they still have to kind of get tricky with how to open it up, and everything else is going to be covered. So let's talk about a normal round as mute. So I'll set up putting my mute jammers down wherever I need to, and then I'll make shotgun holes for the site if I have to, like if there's things for me to shotgun open, if there's anything for me to do on site. This is a good site to show you guys that. Let's work on the up top site. Open this wall so you guys can see the walk in from here. Reinforce one of these walls, open up one side. Open up that wall. Let's say the site is over by the bunk. If you guys want to extend, you'll see this a lot in like FPL and higher level play. We'll extend, I'll reinforce this wall, reinforce the other wall, and we'll be able to play both sides from either way. Whichever side they push, we engage and slowly fall back. If we need to, we can reinforce it. Basically, when you're mute, you are an architect. You are opening up the site in a certain way that could potentially win the round. Granted, if you have the MP5, you're not an architect anymore. So bearing that in mind, like a lot of people, when they see you, they are going to expect you to bring that shotgun. Make sure to vocalize with your team that you are bringing the MP5, because otherwise it's going to be rough. Now, if I'm playing as mute in sight and near the end of the round, I'll play close door with my shotgun up. I'll swing out with my SMG-11 to see if they're peeking out. And near the end of the round, I'll just play close with my shotgun, keep them out. So the shotgun is extremely strong. Don't be afraid to swing into people if you feel like they're close. even this, like, you're gonna rip people apart. Play smart, and you'll be all right. All right, we're gonna take you guys through your prep phase as mute on bank. Talk about what you need to do. All right, so on bank, I'm focusing on making the rotates. You don't want to be doing this during the round because it's really gonna suck. Let your team reinforce. If they don't, I mean, you can come back and reinforce later. Up to you. Good on that. And then I'll start to place my mute jammers. I'll shotgun more if I need to. I want to keep drones out as much as possible, so it is nice to just shotgun a little bit, run around, put on your jammers, and then come back and finish shotgunning if you need to. But I'm using mute jammers on this because there's no necessary wall that we need to get for the mute jammers. I'm using my jammers purely for the denial. So I'll put one here, and maybe for a roamer, I'll put a mute jammer up here, which will thaw their drones massively. Just one like so. They won't be able to drone around too much. But yes, they'll be able to destroy that easily, but it will waste a lot of their time. So that's the downstairs side. All right, we're gonna do the open area side now. For the jump-ins, you're gonna want to reinforce all of that wall. So this site has a lot of rotates that you need to make. You're not gonna want to do these all the time. You're more than likely gonna want to talk to your team about what you guys necessarily want to bring. But all these rotates are fairly default for this site. So this rotate allows you to keep the amount of tellers from this angle while it's watching that door. And if you need to, you can swing back in. You're gonna want to reinforce this wall and then start placing your jammers down. Now you keep the drones out to force them to have to engage you with a shotgun up close. So I'm gonna run around, place my jammers in situations like this, and then because there is a wall that is somewhat relevant, I will place my mute jammers like so. These are 4 walls. You place the mute jammer in between 2 walls. Actually, let's demonstrate that really quick. You place the mute jammer in between 2 walls, and it will jam both walls. Like I said, like, they want to get a higher up breach, it will work, but obviously the attackers won't be able to get through that. So like this, like so. So boom. Like, see how that radius doesn't quite cover up the top part? They will be able to get that. And they can open that and then maybe throw a grenade over the top or etc. But I mean, they could just throw grenades over that anyways. But yeah, it's open area site. All right, here's the next site, which is the upstairs CO site. Reinforce these walls, place the mute jammer down, reinforce this wall, and shotgun out the right side. This side requires a lot of shotgunning, so definitely make sure someone on your team has a shotgun here. Like I said, if you're picking mute, most of the time it's going to be up to you. But that's fine. This shotgun is extremely strong if you play your engagements correctly, which we'll talk about. Boom. All right. And for your jammers, anti-intel. There's not that many walls that you need to really deny, so do it more for anti-intel. You're gonna reinforce this wall and place the mute jammer down. So Ibana, Ace from that rappel won't be able to open this, so they have line of sight all the way down the hallway. And then I will place another jammer, probably at the door, because it will give me the option of playing very close to this door with a shotgun. So now they have to swing me without real intel while I can just shotgun them, which is extremely close shotgun range, which is extremely hard to counter mute playing here. So play around your jammers, don't let them spot you, and when you feel like they're kind of dropping the ball, swing them. Let's talk about who counters mute. So counters to mute, I would have to say obviously the Thatcher and the Twitch, or anything that can destroy your jammers essentially. Twitch, you will be able to counter as well if they can't get to your jammer without a line of sight on it. Obviously you will jam the Twitch drone. So overall, not that many counters to the jammer itself besides just like shooting it, or if you can see it, or explode it. Another good one is Dokkaebi, when her call is going off, if you run over a mute jammer, it actually won't affect you. If you're as a defender, you won't get called. So that is also a plus. Who is a good combo with mute? I personally like to think that a good combo with mute is Mozzie. Why? Well, that's because Mozzie doesn't really provide much in terms of architecting. Mute can do that, and the intel denial game with Mozzie compared with mute, honestly, it's going to be extremely hard to drone. I don't know if you played against a mute and a Mozzie, but when they're paired together, it's extremely annoying to get any drone or any intel on everything on the site. It's almost impossible. Another good combo, honestly, when you have a team of, like, let's say the Ella, Jaeger, Kate, like just a bunch of guys that don't have shotguns, it is really nice to bring a mute. No one will ever complain with a mute pick. Mute is a very solid, well-rounded operator in all situations, combos well with practically everybody I see. I mean, there's honestly not much of a reason to not bring a mute other than, let's say you want to be able to deny them a little bit longer, then maybe you bring a smoke. And mute, like I said, his wall denial abilities is going to be a lot worse than Cade, so Cade is going to be the king of wall denial. Mute is going to be kind of a secondary to that, so sometimes smoke will be played a little bit more than mute, but sometimes you'll see both. So, all right, now let's take you guys through a mock round as mute. I'll place a jammer here to keep out enemy drones. Won't make a rotator because I personally don't like rotate, but you can if you want. I like line of sight. Placing mute jammers to deny drones, deny the intel, so now they can't even drone up into the site because there's only 2 entryways from there or from there. Someone will reinforce this as I put a mute jammer down. If they don't, I can reinforce it. And then I will use either a mute jammer for this wall or for this wall. I normally wouldn't mute jammer this wall because most times, like at higher reload, they'll have a Maverick and they'll mav it anyways. I'd probably place a mute jammer here because you can also deny that trophy drone spot. So like you can place a jammer here. I'll actually show that radius really quick. Drones can get past this if they're smart about it and they know the mute jammer is there. But yeah, see, it will grab a little bit of the door, especially paired with this jammer. You'll get a lot of drones. And then you put the round out. Put one more rotate. Maybe you want some vertical holes so you can see them like kind of running around downstairs. Maybe rotate. So someone can play in security while looking straight up. There's a lot of options that you can do. Like I said, having a shotgun just gives you a lot more options in terms of how you can play the game. Place the mute jammer like at this server entrance so they can't drone me in this room. So yeah, if they see a mute jammer there, they're going to probably assume that someone's in here. But let's say I'm actually not even in here. I just placed the mute jammer there. That is a place that they're going to be afraid that someone might be there, and they're going to have to end up checking. So makes them nervous, waste their time, and if they get caught lacking, well, pump to the face. All right, guys, hope that helps you guys a little bit about how to play as mute, what you're kind of expected to do, and how you should use your utility. So recap, just deny the drones if you're the only wall denial, place a couple of jammers for the walls, and then also try to deny the drones as much as you can with your jammers. Shotgun, if you run the shotgun, make rotations, make the kill holes, make everything you need. If you're on the MP5, make sure to vocalize to your team that you're running the MP5, so you signal to everybody else that someone else is running a shotgun, because obviously you don't have one. Don't be the mute that only runs MP5K without telling your team, because if your team doesn't have a shotgun, honestly, it's a little bit of a throw. You're gonna have to start throwing impacts and nitros at the walls, and it's a huge mess. So, all right, guys, but that's it for mute. We're gonna be doing more operator guides. If you guys want a specific operator, leave it down in the comments below which operator you want. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, let's go.